Hello?
Hey, Justin?
Oh, hey, Louis, what's up?
Well, I'm writing an article about Batman in Japan, and I understand that there was a Batman game that never came out in the United States.
Yeah, for the PC Engine.
Do you think you could tell me about it?
Yeah, sure, but, why are we on the phone?
Oh, okay. Forget about that. I'm hanging up now.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Batman for the PC Engine. It's based off of the first Tim Burton movie, and it's pretty okay.
It's not a great game? Sounds like a lot of the other Batman games out there.
Well, it's not great, but it's far from terrible. In fact, the person I'm borrowing it from said that he and his friends used to spend hours playing it and having a blast. And I've done the same thing.
Tim Burton's Batman movie came out in 1989, and it gave the entire world bat fever.
Yep, and I got the Bat Fever too, can't deny it. Went out and bought the soundtrack and shirts and anything else I could get my hands on that was Batman related. This game came out a year after the movie in Japan and sold fairly well.
Huh, seems a bit like Pac-Man.
Or Lock and Chase, people say that, but it's more like a Bomberman game in my opinion. And just because something's a maze game doesn't automatically make it like Pac-Man. And although there are baddies following you around and you do have to collect the bombs that the Joker has placed around the city, it's actually a pretty fresh game unto itself.
Uh-huh. Okay, so how do you play?
Okay, here's the controls. The directional pad moves you around. That goes without saying. And both the number 2 and number 1 buttons throw your batarang. You stop in your tracks every time you throw one, so you need to be careful. And you can throw your batarang to hit the goons and stun them for a short time. While they're stunned, you can walk through them and they'll zoom off the screen. Supposedly to jail, but they return several seconds later, so you really never run out of bad guys in a way. The items that you pick up boost up your skills. The L item allows you to throw your batarangs further and further with each one that you get. And the block with many bats on it lets you throw more than one batarang. The single bat blocks allow you to throw your batarangs a little bit faster. The boots let you move faster, and the bomb takes all the enemies off of the board at one time. But it's not like they die, they just go away for a short time, and then they come back.
Ugh, good. One of the things I hated about the Tim Burton movies was Batman killing people.
But they were baddies, and...
Batman doesn't kill people.
But they were baddies, and...
Batman doesn't kill people!
But he's the goddamn Batman!
Batman doesn't kill people!
Ugh, Batman doesn't kill people. Now when you start the game, you'll either want to go straight to the game or use a password. The password is pretty ingenious in that it's just 4 symbols. It's either Batman or the Joker facing in one of 4 directions. It's pretty hard to screw this password up.
It looks like there's a time limit. I'm not big on time limits per se.
I can understand, but it does make the game more challenging, and it's not just all collecting things. Sometimes you're trying to cut wires to balloons, lay bombs to blow up places. Don't worry, nobody gets killed. Or even taking paint off of pictures. But the mazes are twisty and turny, and can be tough to maneuver through. One of the jewels for this game is the pseudo-symphonic sounds coming from the tiny little Who cart. The music is really good. The sound effects are crisp, and the audio, while looping, well, I can tolerate it for longer than most other soundtracks of games of that time.
Doesn't sound a lot like music from the movie.
It's not, I'm not gonna lie. This is not the Danny Elfman music, but it does have a nice sound to it. But it's not the Danny Elfman score. By far.
Hey, those are some impressive cutscene graphics right there.
Oh yeah, they spent a lot of time on the cutscenes.
So those are the good things. What about the bad points?
Well, it really doesn't have the best in-game graphics for the time. The PC Engine is the Japanese TurboGrafx 16, and so you'd expect graphics of high quality. But while the cutscenes look really poppin', the in-game seems a tad lackluster and dull. Also, while the gameplay is fast, it's repetitive. But that could translate to be just being challenging.
Well, not to really justify it, but games were really different back then.
Oh, very true. But it's a long game and it has a lot of levels to go through, so you really get some good gameplay out of it. This game is tough to pin down. Some people have said that it looks and feels thrown together, and some even say that you could have changed the sprites and made a different game, not a Batman game, and that it might have sold better. But this game came out in a time when people weren't as jaded upon movie-ported games as they are today, and it did fairly well in Japan. And for those who know about it, Batman by Sunsoft is really a diamond in the rough. And it's tough to find, so it makes you collectors happy.
And I suppose it'd be tough for other people to import the game.
Yeah, not gonna lie, it's only playable on the PC Engine. Or if you can find a card adapter, you can play it on your TurboGrafx 16, but those are kind of expensive, so yeah, it's gonna be tough to import.
And that's all I need for my article. Thanks a lot, Justin.
Oh, no problem, man. Well, we'll talk to you later.
Where does he get those wonderful toys?
Japan.
What?
Japan. He imports them from Japan.
That's a terrible joke to end the show with.
But it's my only line!
You think that you can play this? Now you can. You think that you can play this? Let's see what he said. I know that you can play this. But only you follow to Wario. You can play this. You can play this.
JW, got a package.
Well, thanks, man, and oh, yeah, thanks for opening it for me already. Sheesh, man, I can't have any private things. Oh my god, it's a W Rider driver toy, and it's so cool, it's so cool,